Hi guys, thanks very much for clicking on the latest video. This is a follow-up to a video I did a couple of weeks ago when I decided to finally treat myself to a GoPro. Never owned one of these before, but obviously you hear a lot about them. They seem to be the go-to action cam, so I decided to buy one. Now I wasn't going to buy the latest, which I think is an 11. I got a good deal on a brand new Hero 8, which was, reasonably priced. It's still expensive, but reasonably priced. And I thought, well, okay, that's good enough for me to put my toe in the water. So I wanted to do a quick follow-up video, having had this a couple of weeks now and used it a few times, what I think about it and how it compares to the camera I use normally, which is the Ghost Drift XL. Which one do I prefer? Are there pros and cons? Is there an overall winner? So that's what this video is looking at. Pros, cons of both cameras and which wins out in the end. So the first positive on the GoPro is obviously video quality. It is far better than the Drift Ghost XL, even on a similar setting. The quality this produces is absolutely beautiful. Now, I don't have a fancy laptop or something that's capable of playing the video files and editing the video files that this produces at 4K or 2.7K. But even at 1080, 30 frames a second, the picture quality of this is absolutely beautiful. It really is. And the GoPro wins hands down when it comes to video. It also wins hands down when it comes to the various settings you can adjust inside the camera, for different lighting, shutter speed, all that kind of thing. There's an awful lot of settings in this, and it takes a while to play around with it and decide which you like best for your style of videoing and which is giving you results that you're happy with. One of the things I discovered recently, I think it's super widescreen it's called, which is a lovely setting for motorcycle videos, because you get a good shot of the bike, the front of the bike, the dash, the handlebars, all that sort of thing. You also get the scenery, you get the sky. It works really, really well, and I really like that about it. So in terms of video quality, yes, the GoPro, I'm afraid, easily beats the Drift XL. So what's another thing that the GoPro beats the Drift XL on? Well, that is ease of use, interface. The GoPro has a touch screen which is very responsive, works extremely well, is very easy to use. The Drift XL is an older system, it's more button presses and things like that. You can also use it through an app, which is a little easier if you want to adjust the settings, but then you've got to connect the Wi-Fi and that sort of thing. So overall, ease of use, the GoPro wins easily. It's a very nice system, works very well, very responsive, modern, perfect. I prefer it to the Drift Ghost XL. And one final point where, to me, the GoPro outperforms the Ghost Drift XL is anti-vibration. This has settings on it which give you a much smoother picture. This doesn't really. This can be quite bumpy, especially with the roads in a city like Edinburgh, which frankly are like the craters of the moon half the time. This is really good, lovely picture quality, smooth, nice and steady. This less so. So again, well done GoPro, you're winning on that one. And now we come to the major part, I would say, where the Drift seriously outperforms the GoPro, and that is on battery life. Now, I don't have an exact figure for how long the battery in this lasts. I think the settings I've got is round about an hour, maybe slightly more. So if I'm using this for my weekly commute, and so I'm using this more as a security device than an actual filming camera. It's there to film my ride, to make sure that if anything happens to me, it's on video, or if I see anything crazy going on the roads, I've got it captured. So if I use it for that, I would have to be charging this every couple of days, really, which means taking it off the mount, plugging it into the wall socket, recharging it, all that sort of thing. Now, that's no big hassle, but, it could be avoided. And it's avoided by having this camera, because the battery life on this is about 7 hours. Now, my commute, as I say, is not a long one. I can charge this up on a Sunday night, and basically I don't have to touch this again for the whole week. It films my commute to and from work, it films going to the shops or any local runarounds I do, and I don't have to charge it again for a whole week. It can sit on the helmet and be left in peace. And that's a big benefit, frankly. It's just less hassle. So the battery on this is far superior, and it surprises me that a company like GoPro, which must be a multi-million pound company, far bigger I would imagine than Drift are, can't come up with something better battery-wise. I mean, obviously you can buy spare batteries and chargers and things like that, but that's not really the point. I mean, the difference in batteries is enormous, and I can't help feeling that's a bit of a letdown for the GoPro. So battery life, the Drift XL wins hands down. One other thing I would say about the GoPro, which I have found, is that it can be a bit buggy. Now, to give you an example of that, I've plugged this in before. To charge it, it takes a couple of hours. I've plugged it into the wall socket, the red light's come on, and I've gone away and forgotten about it, and come back 3 or 4 hours later, and the red light is still on. And I've thought, well, that's a bit strange, it should be charged by now. I've actually switched off the wall socket, unplugged the GoPro, and the red light remains on, and the whole camera is frozen. And I've had to take the battery out of the case and then put the battery back in, and the camera comes back to life and the battery's fully charged. So, I mean, it's not a huge issue, but it shouldn't really happen. That's buggy, and buggy I don't like. This, again, the Ghost Drift XL, plug it in, charge it, stick it on your helmet, works for a week, no problem at all. It's a very easy camera to use. The firmware in this is the latest version, so I don't know why it's a bit buggy. It may just be, you hear stories about GoPros that do funny things. Maybe it's just something it does. It doesn't particularly affect the camera or the filming. I've not had any problems with that so far, but it shouldn't really happen. So in terms of 100% reliability, the Ghost Drift XL is winning out slightly again. So then we have these two cameras. So what is the conclusion? Which camera is best? Which camera do I prefer? Well, the answer is frankly both. For my day-to-day commuting, running about the town sort of camera, something that I use more for security than anything else, to protect myself if there's an accident, to keep an eye on what's going on the road, the Ghost Drift XL is back on my helmet again, and I use it every day, simply because of the reliability, the battery life, and the ease of processing the video files it produces. So this is my day-to-day go-to camera. This is the camera I will use as the weather gets better in Scotland and I go for longer rides, maybe somewhere scenic, somewhere I haven't been before, somewhere I want to generate some pretty looking video for YouTube. This is the camera I'll use because the video quality is a lot better. But it's not something I'm going to use day to day because I don't find the battery life is really very useful day to day, and it's just a bit glitchy. It's not got the reliability of this. So the bottom line is, they're both great cameras in their own way. This for fancy runs out when you want top video and you're going to see somewhere new, somewhere scenic. This for day-to-day practical use. So I'm afraid that's probably not answering your question very much. One other thing I probably should mention is sound quality. The Drift Ghost XL comes with a microphone lead with it, so you can plug an external microphone in. Surprise, surprise, the GoPro doesn't. You can get an external lead for it, but it costs about £40 to £50, and then you've got to buy the microphone. Once again, very expensive camera, very expensive accessories, more budget-friendly camera, accessories easy to get hold of and inexpensive. It's another thing to consider. Both cameras have their uses. Both cameras are fun. Both cameras in their own way are perfectly acceptable. But as I say, this is my day-to-day working camera. This is my weekend fancy camera. So anyway, I hope that answers a few questions. Let's just see how I'm getting on with the GoPro. Weather in Scotland is getting better. We've actually seen some sunshine. So in the next few weeks, I'll be out for some longer runs and things like that. And we'll use the GoPro and we'll take some lovely pictures and video to share with you and let you see how I'm getting on with it. Okay guys, that was just a quick update. Hope you found it useful. Thanks as always again for watching. Please like and subscribe if you can, and I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers now.